Did Marcus Scott just drop a bombshell that could shake up everything we thought we knew about the drama behind Love and Marriage Huntsville in a shocking turn of events at the Season 9 reunion? Marca didn't hold back, revealing a web of chaos involving none other than Carlos King himself. From explosive secrets to jaw-dropping revelations, you won't believe what went down. Stick around, because we're diving deep into the drama and it's more scandalous than you can imagine. Welcome back, everyone. If you're a fan of Love and Marriage Huntsville, then you know the reunion episodes are always filled with intense confrontations, but the Season 9 reunion took things to a whole new level. We're talking about explosive moments, shocking accusations, and some serious tension between Marsau Scott and the mastermind behind it all, Carlos King. Now, if you haven't been following the drama closely, let me bring you up to speed. Marsau Scott, who has been at the center of the show's most talked about moments, finally opened up about the chaos behind the scenes, and he didn't just go after the cast. He turned the spotlight on Carlos King, the executive producer, and dropped some serious truth bombs about what really goes down when the cameras aren't rolling. So what exactly did Marsau expose? Was there more to the drama than we saw on screen? And how does this shake up the whole Love and Marriage Huntsville universe moving forward? Well, in this video, we're going to break it all down, from Marsau's candid revelations to the heated exchanges at the reunion. We'll be covering everything you need to know step by step. By the end of this video, you'll have a whole new understanding of the backstage drama that's shaping the future of the show and the cast relationships with Carlos King. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. The Season 9 reunion wasn't just another round of arguments and gossip. Marsau Scott, always known for his calm demeanor, took the reunion stage and unleashed a storm that left fans reeling. For years, we've seen Marsau as a family man, husband, and businessman. He's been a central figure in the drama of Love and Marriage Huntsville, but behind the scenes there's always been a lingering sense that things weren't as perfect as they seemed on camera. In the reunion, Marsau didn't hold back. He wasn't just there to defend his wife Letitia Scott or to talk about his family. No, he was there to address something far bigger: the alleged manipulation and misrepresentation by the show's executive producer Carlos King. Now, for those who might not know, Carlos King is the driving force behind Love and Marriage Huntsville. As the producer and mastermind behind the show, he's responsible for shaping the narrative, choosing what makes it to the final cut, and ultimately creating the drama we see on screen. But it seems that Marital has been holding some serious frustrations about how his story and the stories of his castmates have been manipulated by Carlos for the sake of drama. The most shocking part of Marsau's revelation came when he said that Carlos King, in his quest to make the show as entertaining as possible, has pushed certain narratives that were far from the truth. Marsau claims that Carlos orchestrated moments that painted him and his family in a negative light, all in the name of ratings. What's more, he accused Carlos of doing this with other cast members as well, picking and choosing who would be the villains and who would play the heroes. It's important to note that Marsau's words weren't just some offhand comment. He was adamant, and the conviction in his voice made it clear that this wasn't just another reality TV gripe. Marsau seemed to be saying that his character, his reputation, and his family's future were being put at risk for the sake of drama, but the tension doesn't end there. Marca and Carlos's relationship has always been a bit complex. While Carlos is the producer, Marca is one of the show's most prominent stars. Both have a deep understanding of the business side of reality TV, and for Marital, it's clear that things have gone too far. There's only so much manipulation a person can take before they stand up for themselves, and Marsau did exactly that. During the reunion, he made it clear that Carlos's tactics weren't just affecting the cast, they were damaging the authenticity of the show itself. And let's be real, in a world of reality TV where the lines between truth and entertainment are constantly blurred, Marsau's words struck a chord with fans and viewers alike. Now, the question on everyone's mind is, did Marsau's accusations have merit, and how is Carlos King going to respond to these bombshell claims? You're about to find out in the next section, where we dive deep into the heart of the controversy: Marsau's clash with the Love and Marriage Huntsville producer. This isn't your typical reunion drama, folks. It's the battle for truth and authenticity on a reality TV show that has been running on nothing but scandal. As the reunion progressed, the heat between Marsau Scott and Carlos King didn't simmer down. In fact, it only escalated. The cameras may have been rolling, but behind the scenes the brewing tension was palpable. This wasn't just a standard reunion with cast members airing grievances. No, this was a battle for control, for power, and most importantly for truth. Marital didn't just come to the Reunion with accusations. He came with evidence, a detailed recounting of how Carlos King manipulated the narrative and shaped public perception for his own gain. Marsau's argument wasn't just about being misunderstood by the producers, it was about the larger impact on his family, his business, and the image he worked hard to build for years. Viewers have seen Marital as a strong, level-headed man. He's the one who stays calm in the chaos, who doesn't shy away from family conflict, and who is always about his business. But Marsau made it clear during the reunion that behind the camera there's a different story, one that involves Carlos King working behind the scenes to fuel drama and create chaos. Marsau pointed out how certain storylines were manipulated in such a way that made him seem like the villain. It wasn't just small moments either. Marsau claims that entire seasons were framed to highlight his fault while excusing the behavior of others. The infamous cheating rumors about him and the fallout from Love and Marriage Huntsville were, in Marsau's view, manufactured for ratings, but what really pushed Marsau to speak out was the realization that his personal life was being used as a pawn in a game he didn't agree to play. At the reunion, Marsau stated that Carlos had no qualms about twisting the truth, manipulating situations, and using cast members as pawns to drive storylines for Marsau. It wasn't just about TV ratings, it was about his family's reputation. He's a businessman, a father, and a husband, and the damage done to his public image wasn't something he was willing to let slide anymore. Marsau and Letitia's relationship under scrutiny. One of the biggest accusations Marsau made was how Carlos had exacerbated tensions between him and his wife Letitia Scott. As we all know, Letitia has been the target of a lot of criticism and drama throughout the show's run. The pressure from being on a reality show takes its toll on any marriage, but when you add the constant spotlight, public scrutiny, and fabricated rumors, it becomes a recipe for disaster. Marsau made it clear during the reunion that Carlos pushed the narrative of an unfaithful Marsau far beyond what was reasonable. He explained how the rumors about his alleged infidelities, especially with Destiny, were spun into something much bigger than they were in reality. In Marsau's eyes, Carlos didn't just let these rumors float, he amplified them, created scenarios where Marsau was forced to react, and played a significant role in worsening the relationship between Marsau and Letitia. But what's even more shocking is how Marsau revealed that Carlos used Letitia herself as a tool to create more drama. The show's producers were allegedly aware of the marital friction between Marca and Letitia and intentionally pushed certain buttons to provoke reactions. Marsau expressed how these manipulative tactics took a toll on their personal lives. When the cameras were off, he and Leticia were trying to rebuild their relationship, but Carlos and the producers didn't care about the real-life consequences. It was all about the ratings, and as Marsau bluntly put it, their marriage was nothing more than a storyline for Love and Marriage Huntsville. This behind-the-scenes insight shows the true manipulation at play. Carlos King, as the show's producer, held immense power over what made it onto the screen and how the cast's stories were told. In Marsau's eyes, Carlos didn't just create drama, created chaos that affected real lives. The accusations Marca leveled against Carlos were serious, and the reunion became the battleground for this larger-than-life confrontation. But what did Carlos think about Marsau's bombshell claims? Did he admit to his manipulative tactics, or did he push back? The answer may shock you, as Marsau's revelation was only the beginning. There's more to this story that's yet to come, and the truth is far more complicated than anyone might have imagined. As the reunion continued to unfold, Marsau Scott didn't hold back. The most explosive moment of the entire reunion came when Marsau directly addressed the infamous cheating rumors that have followed him since season 1. For years, fans and critics alike have speculated about Marsau's infidelity, particularly in relation to a supposed affair with a woman named Destiny. Marsau had enough of the speculation and stood firm in denying the rumors, but this was more than just a simple defense. Marsau opened up about how these rumors were deliberately spread by King and the producers. According to Marsau, it wasn't just about people gossiping behind his back, it was a systematic campaign to create a storyline for the show. Carlos and the producers allegedly manipulated the situation and used the rumors as a way to provoke reactions, forcing Marsau into a defensive position that didn't reflect the reality of his relationship with Letitia. Marsau pointed out how this constant drama began to take a toll not only on his marriage, but on his business as well. His professional life, which he worked so hard to build, was being dragged into the chaos. The speculation about his personal life became so widespread that Marsau had to constantly defend his character. Even in business settings, he was no longer just fighting rumors on TV, he was fighting against a public image that had been distorted for entertainment value. What really struck Marsau, though, was how these allegations seemed to become more than just a storyline for the show. They became a part of his identity. He was no longer just Marcel Scott, a businessman, husband, and father. He was the unfaithful Marital, the man who couldn't be trusted, the villain of the story. Carlos, according to Marital, knew that pushing these rumors would be guaranteed to get the audience's attention, but at what cost? Marcel took the opportunity at the reunion to make a bold statement. I have never cheated on my wife Letitia, and I never will. These rumors, these lies are simply that, lies. But he didn't stop there. He elaborated on how he felt trapped by the production team's narrative, forced to be part of a scandalous plotline that didn't reflect his actual life. Carlos, who was sitting in the audience during Marcel's impassioned speech, seemed visibly uncomfortable. Was he prepared for this? Did Carlos have a plan to respond to Marcel's claims, or was he taken aback by how directly Marcel confronted the issue? It was clear that the reunion had become more than just a season wrap-up. It had turned into a battleground where both men were fighting for their reputations and their truths. But what happened next was even more shocking. After Marcel laid it all out on the table, Carlos King had to defend his own position. Was he willing to admit to any of the manipulation Marcel claimed he had been subjected to, or did he deny it all before the truth could be revealed? Marital dropped yet another bombshell about the show's producers and their involvement in perpetuating the rumors, and this was only the beginning. The next revelations would leave everyone in the room stunned. As the conversation continued to unfold, the attention in the room became palpable. Marsau had just laid out a scathing criticism of the entire production process, directly accusing Carlos King and his team of using manipulation tactics to create a false narrative about his personal life. Now the spotlight was squarely on Carlos to respond, and the questions surrounding his role in all of this were only becoming more intense. Carlos, always the master of keeping his composure under fire, appeared unbothered at first, maintaining his cool, while Marital unleashed one bombshell after another. But the question remained, how would Carlos defend his actions? Would he stand by his decisions as a showrunner, or would he finally acknowledge the role he played in amplifying these rumors for the sake of ratings and drama? Carlos eventually took the mic, and what followed was a mixture of denial, deflection, and subtle rebuttal. He started by reiterating that Love and Marriage Huntsville is a reality show, and while the producers do encourage real-life drama, it's always up to the cast to decide how much they want to reveal. I don't force anyone to be anything that they're not, Carlos insisted, but the implication was clear. While he may not have forced Marcel into a position of scandal, the show itself had surely shaped the narrative in ways that the audience wouldn't always see behind the scenes. But then Carlos made an unexpected admission. He explained that sometimes the drama that unfolds on the show doesn't always feel true to life. In fact, he acknowledged that producers sometimes plant seeds, guiding the cast in directions that can encourage bigger moments of tension or revelation. This revelation was shocking in its own right, as Carlos all but confirmed Marsau's accusations that the producers had intentionally manipulated the situation for entertainment. Carlos went on to defend his methods, justifying his creative decisions by citing the success of the show. Reality TV is built on tension, conflict, and emotion. He said, if we don't create moments that spark those reactions, the show won't have the impact that it does. But at no point am I forcing anyone to do something that they're uncomfortable with. But the question remained, was he truly only planting seeds, or was there more to the manipulation that he wasn't admitting to? As he continued to speak, Marca remained visibly frustrated, interrupting Carlos to challenge his claims. So, what you're saying is you encouraged the lies, you encouraged the drama? Marsau shot back, his voice rising. The room grew more tense as both men seemed locked in a battle over control of the narrative.